Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to make sure that your classes are all ready for back to school night. So I'm logged in right now, and one of the first things I need to deal with is all of these funky little names. We need to make sure that each class is named something that is clear to parents and makes sense. So I'm going to go and I'm going to click on a class. All right. And I'm going to click up here on the title. I'm sorry, I'm going to manage page, class settings. And now I'm going to erase all of this nonsense under class name. You don't need to touch any of this other stuff. And then click save. And now you can see I have a nice name here. I'm going to go to assess, and I need to make sure I have an attendance book and a grade book. So when I click attendance, notice there's no attendance book here. So I'm going to click add attendance book, and I'm going to name it ceramics. Cannot do this. Ceramics 1. All right. And I'm going to publish after 1 day. That's my preference. You can publish it immediately, but I think 1 day gives you a little bit of time. This way it's published the next day. The default setting for your attendance book is right here. All right. And this is P for present, A for absent, and T for tardy. Okay. So I'm going to click save. And now you can see there's my roster. All right. Parents are going to be able to see this once it's live. Now, the default that I just set was after a day. But if you want to make it live right away, anytime you want to make something live, you click these circles, and that will show it to parents. If the circles aren't clicked, the parents don't see it. All right. So I have my attendance report. All right. I also need to get my grades. So I need to add a grade book. Again, we're going to call it, why do I want to put that M there? Ceramics 1. And now I have, for the most part, not much to do. The one decision I have to make is, do I want categories or do I just want to do it as points? So if you do categories, then you're going to be using, like, tests are going to be categories and they'll be worth a certain percent, and homework's going to be worth a certain percent, and so on and so forth. Okay? So I'll just set categories for this, and you can go back and change it later if you're not happy with it. And I'll click save. And now it wants me to do different categories. And I can change all this later if I have to. And you can see I'm just adding my categories. And now I can do category weighting. So how much do I want each one? So maybe I want my test to be worth 50%, and my quizzes to be worth 30%, and there we go. Class work. It's with a K. All right. And now everything adds up to 100, and that would be correct. Again, you can set anything that you want here that makes sense to you. All right. And then click next. Okay. And now here's your grade book. Right now there's all these numbers here, but these should be gone by the time you come in and start doing this. Okay. Now you're going to have 2 columns here. One's going to be subtotal and one's going to be published subtotal. The published subtotal is what your parent sees as the student's current grade. So if you are in the middle of something, or you have a participation grade you don't put until the end, then you might not make that activity published. So this would only show that published subtotal. If you don't click this, the parents can't see the average of the student in the class. So you're going to want to make sure this is clicked. All right, so when I click this, now it's orange, so now my parents can see it. To add a gradebook entry, I would add, what is it? Does not have to be something that's done online. Okay, maybe it was a test. That would be an assessment. like a test, or maybe it's an assignment like a homework, and then there's these other options. Okay, let's say I had them take a quiz. All right, we can have practice ones. All right, I'm going to do an exam. I'm going to call it testing 1, 2, 3 so that I can delete it later. Here's where it would go. I can choose the category I want it to go into. And then here's total points. I can even make it extra credit. All right, go to next. Now it's going to ask, is there a time limit? Do I require safe browsing? This is all if I wanted to do it online. Okay. All right. All right. And I think that's good. Now if I go over to my grades, I should see it. There it is. Testing 1, 2, 3. And to put into grade, now the columns are a little off here right now, but to put into grades, I just double click and then I would give the student a grade. All right. And then you can see that's what their average is. All right. Right now, the parents can't see this. I'd click here to make it live. I can also fill all the blanks with a certain grade if I wanted to. Okay. Now, as long as I don't click it live, they can't see it. I'm going to go ahead and revert grade to clear. In fact, I'm actually going to go and delete this assignment from the gradebook. All right. Again, the columns are a little messed up today, but they'll be fine once you get on here and do this on Monday. Let's see, we also have another type of, that was an assessment. I can also add an assignment. All right, so add an assignment. All right, make sure you put the due date on the assignment. This could be, let's say, an in-class test or quiz. All right. Can set the due date for whenever I want. Let's say I set it for next Wednesday. I can set the time for whatever I want. I'm going to go ahead and set it just for 8 a.m. Kind of thinking the beginning of the school day. All right. I don't want to, this is a class test they're going to do. I want to create it in here. I want this to be a test. Don't need to add any instructions, but I could study chapters 1 through 3. All right, and click save. All right, now this appears with the due date. When I go to my gradebook, ceramics 1, there's that test again, in-class test or quiz. Again, I'm going to delete it. There we go. Okay, this class already has a template, but if I wanted to change the colors, I go to Edit Theme, and I could change and put different colors in there. There's school theme, there's haiku themes. I can do whatever I want. All right, I'm not going to change it at all. All right, so this class is all set to go. What did I do? I made sure that the name made sense. I might want to rename this first page as like class information. Class information, or whatever you want to name it. Click save, and I want to go ahead. I want to go ahead and add calendar upcoming activities. All right, and I'm going to actually name this upcoming assignments. All right, there we go. See that in-class test or quiz is due in 3 days? So that's showing up there because I had created that earlier. All right. So when the students come here, they're going to see this coming up. You also want to make sure that you have your class policies uploaded. Again, just add a content block. And probably you have a file. And then I choose class rules maybe, or class policies. Okay. And upload them from my computer. I don't have this class's policies on my computer, but I would upload them, or I could choose a Google Doc. Probably better just to upload it. And then I should have my class policies and my upcoming assignments, whatever this first page is named, and then this name should make sense. When I go to assess, I should see attendance, all ready to go with everyone's name on it for my parents to see. And in my grades, I should see a nice grade book ready to go. And probably by the time parents get access, there's probably going to be some sort of grade in here. All right. Okay, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions.